here are 10 survival game suggestions to check out on the console platforms. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well, and this is in no particular order, just 10 great survival titles for you to check out, and hopefully find something new to live, thrive, and possibly do a little bit of building in. First up, we have Minecraft, the all-time classic sort of ultimate survival game, where it's really what you make of it. Constant updates, new things to do, new activities to jump into. Enjoy a hardcore survival experience or one that's a little bit more casual. It's perfect for all audience types, and it really does provide something that you can literally play endlessly as you dive into farming, crafting, building, foraging, battling crazy monsters, herding, a little bit of animal husbandry and whatnot. It really is exciting, it's vast, and it brings countless hours of gameplay in what really is the peak and perfect survival experience. Minecraft, all about blocks and building. We have Ark Survival Evolved. It's a large open world experience, or well, at this point, a selection of large open world experiences depending on how many of the expansions you dive into. You will be living amongst giant monsters, usually a lot of dinos, but they've added a lot of different creatures over the years. You can tame them, you can feed them, you can run away from them because they'll likely be trying to kill you. Other players online will also be a problem as well, but you could play it by yourself if you'd like, or just kind of with a couple pals as you set up a more dedicated multiplayer experience. Build stuff, craft stuff, improve your character, discover the secrets within this world, get together with a bunch of dinos that you've tamed, and then become powerful enough to battle these huge entity type things across an ever expansive and continuously seemingly expanding experience that you can enjoy within Ark. It's a blast, it has a lot for you to do, and it really has grown considerably over the years. It's rather impressive if you think about it. This is DayZ, a classic open world, multiplayer focused survival game where it's not really the zombies that are the main threat, it's the other people out there. But it is a very technical, mechanical sort of experience where you are gathering supplies, trying to deal with hunger, the elements, and zombies as you make your way across this really desolate landscape. There's actually 2 map areas now. There's also Livonia, but most people just play on the typical Chernarus there. So yeah, you will be facing off against the hordes of the undead, other people, the elements, the environment, the lack of food, the lack of water, the lack of resources. It doesn't really hold your hand, and it's like, good luck out there. That's DayZ for you. It's not an easygoing time, and it certainly will not be holding your hand at all. And yeah, prepare to die a lot, because everything is literally trying to kill you in this world. Seriously, you probably won't last very long. This is Rust. It is another one of those multiplayer focused experiences where you are trying to survive, craft, and generally run away from everyone else because no one is nice in this experience and everyone is trying to kill you. Your structures, your buildings, everything you do is decaying. It's a very hostile world. There's radiation stuff. There's these weird dudes moving around where you're like, what are these NPCs kind of things going on here? It's a bit weird. So you have to deal with them. You have to deal with other people. You have to scavenge resources. You have to survive. It's cold. It's too hot. You have to build. You have to run. You have to hide. It's really, really quite a hardcore and rather unfriendly time where even when you're gone, it's still kind of on in regards to having to keep yourself alive. So it really does kind of require a constant interactive experience to be able to really properly handle this one. It's quite a time, that is for sure. Good luck rusting around. This is Subnautica, or you could also go for the sequel. They're about the same in regards to the core concept. You are in these aquatic areas and you are going about under the water to scavenge, gather information, create better plans so that you can make new tools that will help you survive in this aquatic survival game. I always love including this one because it's just so different from every other survival game, because you're literally just like under the sea where you want to be. But yeah, you need to deal with like oxygen levels, you need to find hidden secrets. Depending on which one you go for, there's a bit more of a story element too as you play through the games. It's actually quite an interesting series, and I am just showing off the first one here, but again, the idea that you can kind of jump into both of them, they're similar but different in unique ways, is kind of a cool thing that you typically don't get for survival games, because usually they're one-offs and they just keep getting updated and changed over time. So this one's kind of a neat experience. Then we have RimWorld. So this is a different, new to the console platforms kind of management survival game. It's a storytelling game in the sense that every playthrough, every adventure is completely different. The stories that happen are completely unique. The characters you set up, the things you do. You have to try to build a bit of a, I guess you would say almost a civilization as you scavenge. And, well, more like tell your people to go scavenge, gather resources, battle off enemies, and not just enemies that are other people, but like creatures that are foes. You've got to hunt, you've got to manage their day-to-day schedule, you've got to grow crops, you've got to expand your building territory. There's a lot of work, there's different seasonal things. Death is everywhere. No one is safe. It's a dangerous situation the whole time through, and it's very, very in-depth. There is a lot going on in this one, and it really does feel quite endless for replay value. This is Grounded. So this is a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type of experience where it is larger than life. It's going to be fully releasing in a very short period of time. Depending on when you watch this, it might actually be released completely now. It is a game where you are trying to gather resources to build different systems that will allow you to uncover the secrets and story that is present within the world of Grounded. There's a lot to do, there's a lot for you to gather. There are many surprising things for you to come across, whether that is giant monstrous enemies or some other terrors from beyond. It really does have some neat elements to it. I love the atmosphere, the style of play, the quirky character design, the simplistic UI but yet complex systems within it. Grounded is a really, really cool experience, and I hope this one continues to get good support as it goes further, because it's such a neat gem of a survival title. This is Conan Exiles. The game that just keeps on going, similar to Ark in terms of just getting lots of expansions and updates and new things for you to do. It's kind of a lot more adult focused, it's pretty violent, it's pretty gory. You are scavenging, gathering resources, you are building structures, dealing with magic, you are kind of experiencing a lot of things from the Conan lore, which is kind of cool if you're into the Conan universe. It really is just kind of a bit wild of an experience. It really does have a lot of content to it, and as you can tell, it certainly is kind of violent and stuff, but there's other elements to it as far as survival goes. You got to deal with the elements, you got to deal with food, you got to deal with water, all the survival things that you would expect, but in a Conan format. And yes, it can be quite brutal, and yes, there are crazy monster things and weird magical stuff, and it is ultra violent and ultra intense the whole way through. This is Terraria, which I believe actually just kind of got its big finale sort of update, something along those lines. It's essentially 2D Minecraft. Everyone will get mad when you say that, but it really basically is. It's the easiest way to kind of describe this. Though there is a bit more of a focus on actual, I guess you would say to a degree, dungeon crawling and or boss fighting. You will be gathering tools and resources in order to build structures, encourage new individuals to pop in so that you can do trading stuff or get other opportunities, and then you will go and you will battle, and you can also play with others, and you can dive in alone, you can go and you can do all these different adventures deep down below, or you can go across the overworld and see what else is hidden out there. It's usually a lot less stormy, but yeah, this update brought some doom and gloom into my world, as you can most certainly tell. And it's kind of almost a haunting look, which is sort of perfect for what I wanted to showcase, something a little bit different here. And finally, we have Green Hell. So this one is all about surviving in this like jungle-esque area. You're searching for clues, you can do regular survival, or there's also like a bit of a story where you're actually trying to find something. It's got lots of hidden secrets, lots of different things for you to craft and build, lots of environmental elements to deal with, such as like sickness, and generally just kind of food and water resourcing collection, and it is quite an experience. Oh, and I believe you can also like tame and pet the capybaras, which is pretty cool. I mean, there's some pretty majestic creatures. But yeah, there's lots of little surprises in this one, lots of things for you to see. It's not an easygoing time, like many survival games, but yeah, it's definitely a different sort of thing, and it's kind of a neat one. Anyways, again, 10 survival suggestions, so I hope you found this helpful. If you did, liking the video is great, subscribing is great as well, and good luck out there surviving no matter which world you choose to dive into, and probably die in.